Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with McAdory High School head football coach Aryvia Holmes, powered by the McAdory Yellow Jackets shop. Visit mcadory.shop for all of your Yellow Jackets gear. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Welcome into the first McAdory Coach Speak of the 2025 season. Good to see you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Good to see you too, man.
All right. So everything is started. You're into fall practice. You've had several days with the team. Kind of give us an idea of the makeup of this team.
Yeah, so we're going to be really good this year.
Good.
We got some good pieces coming back. We spent a large majority of the offseason trying to create a certain type of mindset.
Right.
We got out of spring ball and we played Clay Chalkville in a spring game, and they got out there. It's pretty good.
Did they?
And a couple things that I noticed about our team was we were really talented, but like there was a missing component of toughness and just the will to be able to grind things out.
Right.
So we spent a large portion of the offseason making sure that, when we get in that situation again, our kids are going to understand how to respond
right.
and prepare the right way, and making sure that they understand everything counts. Even though it's a spring game, there's a certain type of standard that we're looking for, a certain type of play that we want to put on film. So I think the kids have responded well to that. So I like this group.
Good. So tell us a little bit, or give us a few adjectives that you would use to describe what you've seen thus far on the field.
First and foremost, toughness.
Okay.
I do think we've came a long way when it comes to just being tough.
Right.
Mentally tough, physically tough, just understanding the grind of football. So I would say toughness. Also, I would say family. I think these kids are really close. They get along well. They're always together. We've done several events where it's been splash adventures, where it's been going to church.
Nice.
My son got baptized, and a lot of guys on the football team came to that baptism. So they're really close.
Right.
Really
Good.
close. Our motto this year is one heartbeat.
Nice.
Just making sure they understand, like, if we're going to do this thing, we got to do it all together. So I like the fact that there are really no eyes. There's a lot of team, and we've been promoting that a lot this off season. So I think just the family atmosphere and just the culture of just toughness.
Okay, good deal. So who are some of the leaders on this team that have shown up so far?
Yeah, so I'll start with the defense side of the ball. On the defense side of the ball, it starts and stops with Braylon Glover.
Okay.
He's our Mike linebacker. He gets everybody lined up. He came up. He's been in Park, played Park here. He played middle school ball here, and he's a senior leader on our defense. So he gets everybody going there. And then our quarterback, Justin Patton. One of the things I've worked with him this offseason is Justin is a tremendous talent. But like I told him when we finished last season, things that I needed him to improve on was his leadership ability.
Yeah.
Naturally, he's a quiet kid. He kind of has that only child syndrome, which I don't think he's the only child. But sometimes I have to pull that out of him. But when he's doing it the right way, he is a really good leader for that offense.
Nice.
The O-lineman listens to him. The running back likes him. He has a very good rapport with the receivers. So as long as those two guys are leading us in the right direction, we got guys in other areas, but holistically, it starts with Braylon Glover on defense and then Justin Patton on offense.
Okay, good deal.
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit about the different position groups. How are they looking?
So it starts up front. If you're going to win football games, you better be good on the offensive line, defensive line. So
absolutely.
Defensive line, we graduated some really good players, but we got a lot of guys who played a lot of snaps that's coming back.
Good.
Jordan Allen plays interior defensive line for us. Is a really good football player.
Okay.
Dillion Chambers is going to make a lot of good plays this year for us.
Right.
We got Peyton Watson, who kind of plays both sides of the ball, but also plays defensive line for us. And then we got young guys that stepped up and kind of filled some of the voids we had from last year. Offensive line is arguably our probably our best position.
Right.
Maybe a close second running back, but our offensive line is really good. Those guys are big, they're physical. Brendan Walker, Ryan Gray, Josh Halsey, CJ Chavers, and Caleb Canty, those dudes can get it done. So we're going to lean on those guys heavily and make sure that, you know, when you get in situations where I think this Friday it could possibly rain, you got to be able to run the football. So
for sure,
O-line and D-line have been a really good, you know, they've made a lot of leaps and bounds over the offseason. Skill-wise, our receiver crew is some of the best in the state.
Good.
We have Carter Fagan. He came back, so he'll be a junior this year. He had 1,000 yards receiving last year.
Fantastic.
Both of our running backs are back. Secondary, we graduated everybody, but we've found some pieces.
Good.
And people will be pleasantly surprised about how the secondary is going to look once the season starts. Kicking game is still good. So yeah, we're ready to rock and roll.
All right. So it seems like year in and year out, especially this day and age, there are changes to the staff. Tell us a little bit about the current staff and what, if any, changes you've had.
Yeah, so changes this all season for us has, you know, kind of been a big deal. You know, anytime you lose a coordinator, I lost my offensive coordinator.
Right.
You know, that's always a change. But, you know, it gave me an opportunity to get back to calling plays and coaching a little bit. You know, one of the reasons I got into coaching is just because obviously I love coaching.
Right.
And sometimes when you become a head coach, you kind of miss and lose some of that. You know, there's a lot of administration stuff that needs to get done.
Yeah.
Dealing with parents and school and that stuff. So I'm actually getting back into the mix of, you know, calling plays and working with the offense a lot more hands-on. But we added Coach Trone. Coach Trone came to us over the offseason. He coaches our receivers, and he does a tremendous job for those guys. They can relate to him. He's very cerebral. He can call plays if he needed to. He's been a great addition to the offense. Coach Trone has been around a lot of winning programs. He's seen it done at a high level. So he's been really good. On the defensive side of the ball, I took my defensive line coach and I made him our offensive line coach. So our defensive line coach, he coached linebackers by trade, but now he's coaching defensive line, Coach Woods. And like those two guys both have kids in our system.
Nice.
And there's something to be said about coaches who are invested in not only in your program but also in the community.
Right.
Because they have kids at the elementary school, they have kids at the middle school, so it means a lot to them.
Sure.
So adding, you know, Coach Trone and Coach Woods to our staff has been a tremendous help.
All right. So this Friday is your very first game. You're playing Pleasant Grove. What are you expecting to see from the Spartans?
Well, I never had an opportunity to coach with Coach Fuqua. I was leaving a school when he arrived, but I know a lot about him. And one thing that I know about him is he's very competitive. Yeah. He's seen it done at a high level. Right. I think he's been at Thompson. He's been at Hoover, which are, you know, historically winning programs. Right. So he knows what it takes to be good. Sure. What I know about Pleasant Grove is they always have players. Always have players. So when you add a combination of a coach who knows how to win and kids who are very talented and can win, you know, it could be a little scary. Right. Going into the first ball game, you know, we don't really know what we're going to get. So we've just kind of been preparing for worst case scenario and all different scenarios. So I'm sure they're going to be fast and physical. I'm sure the kids are going to be excited. He's going to have them playing hard and they're going to be sound. So we just got to find a way to make sure that, you know, things that we didn't prepare for, that we can make the correct adjustments and find a way to, you know, hopefully win a football game. Right. Yes, sir.
So we're still in August. We're still a few days away from the first game. So confidence tends to reign supreme right about now. But give us, if you will, a realistic prediction as to how this season's going to go.
I think if we start well, the sky's the limit.
Okay.
I really do believe that. I think if we start well, the sky's the limit. There's been several things on my checkoff list that I wanted to do while, being the head coach at McAdory, and we've been successful.
Right.
And I talk to the kids about, like we're pushing towards perfection. Like
Right.
we want to be perfect.
Right.
And you and I both know, like, there's really no such thing, but as we're striving to get to perfection, there can be some excellence in there.
Right.
So I want people to look at our program and think, that's an excellent program.
Right.
Those coaches are doing a really good job, and those kids play really, really hard.
Sure.
We had an opportunity last year to host a first round playoff game.
Right.
We came out victorious in that, so you kind of check that off the list. Now it's about, finding a way to win the region.
Sure.
I want to get to a point to where, we're in the talks about winning the region. Why, ever since I've been here, take out Hillcrest, but Town is kind of on this region. So
Right.
we're thinking about, what do we need to do to win a region? And then, as we go on from there, anything can happen. So that's where we are right now. We want to be 1-0 after every single week.
Right.
Hopefully, put ourselves in a situation where we can compete and win a region, and then get in the playoffs and see what happens.
Okay.
Yes,
Cool.
sir.
So, Coach, that's our first show. It's in the books. We're done. We appreciate your time. And as always, we appreciate yours. Quick program note, though. Last year, if you joined us, we had an every week show. This year, it'll be every other week. So be sure to look out for us in a couple of weeks for the very next one. Thanks for watching.